Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming to my video. I just wanted to do a video about a new poem I just wrote called Drop Your Seeds, My Sister. And before, I didn't really want to talk about my poetry in my videos, but poetry is really important to me because, expressing the way I feel, and I'm very close to my spirituality. So this is why I'm doing the video about my my poem. So I'm just pulling it up on my phone. I have a Tumblr blog called This Side of Paradise, and I just talk about just personal things and expressing myself. So I'm pulling that up right now. Sorry. So this is one of my newest poems, and I wrote this poem about my birth sister, so my biological sister that I've never met before. Supposedly she's a couple years older than me, and she's also of mixed race, so I guess her father is also black too. So I'm not sure if we have the same father or not, but someday I'd really like to meet her and get to know her and stuff, because it's good to be close to your family and connect with them. And yeah, so I wrote this poem about her, basically saying that I'm thinking of her and that I care about her. And I also talk about what it means to be a woman. And something that inspired me with this poem that I kind of touch on in the poem is the book by Louise Erdrich, or Erdrich, I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce her name, but she's a Native American author, and she writes about Native American families. And so she has a book called The Antelope Wife, and it's really touching. And in a lot of her writing, she talks about how some of the people in her books are following people that they really care about. And it talks about this young girl who was adopted by a white man. So it's a Native American girl who was adopted by a white man, and he like fathered her and really took care of her. And it's a really touching story. But then her mother is still alive, and then so she leaves her father who adopted her to go for her mother, to follow her mother. And then it's really touching how she's following her and following the tracks of her mother and stuff. And that's just something that I really thought was really important. And also her mother dies, so then she ends up living with the antelope and becoming like, she was like living with the antelope like a wild person. So I kind of touch on that because in my poem I say drop your seeds, my sister, so I can follow her and follow her tracks and find where she is, because I can't, because I've tried to kind of find her whereabouts, but I'm kind of at a standstill because I don't have any of her records because she was adopted out of LA. I touched on that in one of my other videos. So that's what the title means, drop your seeds, my sister, so I can find her, reconnect with her, and be with my family. And so in one of the things that I say here, I say, I will follow your nappy vines. Tangled is the path to you, basically saying like, tangled is the path to you. It's not an easy path to find you, because it's hard to find you, because I'm trying to, reconnect with you. And it says, if I'm stepping on thorns, I won't feel a thing, because I was already crying inside, basically crying inside, because I feel an emptiness there with some of like my, like you have connection with family, with your blood relatives. I have an amazing family. I don't take them for granted, but you do feel that emptiness, like a part of you is gone because you're not with, the people that you're naturally connected with through blood. So so even if I'm stepping on thorns, like even though how hard it is to get to you, even if it hurts, I won't feel it, because I was already crying the whole time. I was already feeling emptiness. I was already feeling sad because I wasn't with her and that I couldn't meet her. So it dried up and went away. Like, when I say it dried up and went away, I mean that the pain is drying up and I'm getting through it. It went away. The feeling is going away. And it's a thread I cannot untie. It's something that I'm having a hard time resolving with. And I also talk about what it means to be a woman, our menstrual cycle. I feel that our menstrual cycle is very, very important to us being women. And basically, it's very healing. It's a healing time for us, and it's powerful because we're connected with the earth. I talk about the moon cycle because personally for me, my menstrual cycle is tied with the moon. So I talk about that. I say that when the moon is high, our crimson is flowing. So our blood is flowing. We're having a menstrual cycle. Like the juice of acai berries. So I talk about fruit. Fruit and humans, like there's a connection. Because I use fruit as symbolism for the human experience. So acai berries. Have you ever seen acai berries? They have very dark pigment and very dark, like purplish red hues, deep blue hues, just like human blood. If you've seen blood before, it's come in contact with oxygen, it's very dark purple. So our blood, before it reaches oxygen, like our veins are blue. If you can see, my veins are blue. They're very dark. So our blood is. And I say staining our thighs because, when we bleed, it can go on our thighs. So we feel the pounding of poi. Poi is a type of food that Hawaiians like pound. So the pounding of poi, that image reminds me of the pain that women feel. It's a throbbing feeling of our blood, that we feel in our lower abdomen. So the pounding. And so the pulsating pain of loss, we tremble as our bodies mourn and punish us for not sewing deep enough, for not becoming pregnant, for not being fertilized by semen. So our bodies, in a way, are punishing us, and our bodies are mourning because we're not, if we're not with child. So that's what I'm talking about. And then I say we are like the thorny leaves of aloe, break us off. Aloe vera is very healing, and that the image of thorny leaves, because aloe, like they have like thorns on the outside, and it's kind of hard on the outside, but it's smooth. It's like a really beautiful green color, and so when I was a little kid, we used to break off aloe vera leaves and use that on our cuts, and to help us heal, and also to help with scarring. So I'm talking about we are like the thorny leaves, even though we're hard on the outside, we're healing inside, So break us off, like we're broken, partly because we're away from one another. So that's what that talks. And then our strange juices leaking to heal, to satiate. So I'm talking about when you're having sex, and then your natural sexual secretions, like it is healing. Sexual energy is very healing, and just like our blood from our menstrual cycle is also healing. And then to satiate, they leak to satiate, to help us, feed that hunger that we have inside our bodies. That is very natural. And I also talk about other fruit, including mangoes. And mangoes, like, I talk about ripe mangoes because the beautiful colors that they have, they're changing. And our bodies change when we're also going through our menstrual cycle. And That's the image I want to give off, like the beauty of our bodies as women when we're, and like the ripening mangoes, they're ripening because, you know, our bodies, our breasts will swell when we're gonna have our menstrual cycle, and it's kind of beautiful in a it's beautiful even though it, you know, it kind of hurts. So I also talk about our skin is bright like peanut butter, mahogany, milky. I'm talking about beautiful skin color of melanin, you know, the deep melanin that is in brown skin, and how beautiful the different shades are. So I've never met my sister, so I'm not sure what shade of brown she is at. But you see me, like my skin color is like a medium brown, and I have like I guess, well, I've been told that my skin color is kind of like peanut butter. So I like that, and like peanut butter is very nutty. It has a deep flavor, and then mahogany is beautiful, beautiful skin, and hues of sunflowers. I say sunflowers because, you know, within our brown skin, there's also very brightening. It's very beautiful to see our skin color. I think brown skin is very beautiful. I think all skin colors are beautiful, but I really think that it's very beautiful to see brown skin that is very healthy, you know, that radiates hues of sunflowers. And I also say, when I see your thoughtful face, I will say namaste, my sister, because I'm greeting her. I'm very happy, joyful to see my sister, and that I think that she would be thoughtful like myself. And I will see that her skin is oiled like my own, you know, because I moisturize myself with oils. Oils are very, very powerful and, you know, nourishing, very important for us to take care of our skin, you know, and to keep us soft and strong. And that's very important. So I will see that her skin is oiled like my own, that we take care of ourselves, take care of our skin. And I will smell coconut on her woolly hair. We both have kinky hair, you know, from our black roots, you know. We have woolly hair, and I will embrace her. I will embrace my kin. Our hair will be heavy like banana leaves. When we wash our hair, you know, our hair gets heavier, and our hair fills up with water, and it's very beautiful to see our, you know, the texture of our hair, and that's what I'm explaining in this part. Our hair will be heavy like banana leaves. You know, banana leaves, if you've ever seen them, they're very beautiful. They're lush green color, and when they're wet, they're hanging. They're heavy. That's what it reminds me of. And once again, we will fall away from one another. I'm imagining us as we're embracing. Our skin is, our oily skin is too soft to stick, so we're oily because we put so much oil on ourselves to take care of ourselves, you know, and we're holding each other, embracing one another, hugging, and we're too slick, so we fall away from one another because of our oil on our skin. But we're falling away because we're still so far away from another that even though I can think of her, I still am far away from her, even though she's dear in my heart. And I will think of her in the cycle of the moon. So that's my poem. Sorry, I got a little emotional. But that's basically what that means. Just everything that, you know, being close to my sister, even though I have never met her before. This poem is about her and my love for her. And that's all. Thank you for watching.